I lost a ton of footage. The Charlotte vlog. I deleted stuff to try to make space for the video. I had the video done. And when I deleted it on my camera roll, it took it out of the video app. So I just put up what I had.
It's tough. You need a lift off?
You have to do it again.
You need a pre-lift.
Tell them to have the show again.
You want a pre-lift slap?
I'll just do a lift off.
All right. Show recap. So first, let me go back to the part where, yeah, I did a show. I did, in fact, prep for the show. I know it might have kind of come out of nowhere for some of you guys because I didn't put too much out there about it too early on. A little more quiet about it. But I did prep the whole year. So starting January until the show, April 22nd, was dialing it in with competing and specifically doing this show in mind. This is right after coming off of 2 years off and getting married last November, having Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holidays, and then pretty much right after that, getting back into the swing of things. So I mentioned a little bit in a video before, but not very much, that there were some health things that threw a wrench into the plan a little bit. I had some lab work when I was getting the prep started, and a few things were pretty off. My cholesterol was really bad. My HDL, the good one, was really low. My LDL, the bad one, was pretty high. Liver was off a little bit. And I'd been having some issues since like 2020 when that sickness kind of came about. A lot of issues started from that, and then there were just some things like in the day-to-day that were on and off, like my blood pressure being up and down and my sugar being up and down. Issues with managing that, or at least that's what the symptoms were like. A lot of time spent trying to figure out why I was having those kind of issues, and anxiety and brain fog and stuff to go along with it. So not ideal to be in a prep on. There's a lot of things that people do in prep that will make that worse. I wanted to see if I could do this show and first off, just do a diet to get in shape to try to fix this. So starting with the cholesterol issue, just tightening up my diet, cutting out any alcohol that I was drinking, because if you think you might want to do a prep, you can't have any of that. And I did enjoy myself food and drink wise, over the holidays. So goal was add cardio in, address my diet to try to fine tune what I could do to fix the sugar issues and get a hold on that, get a glucose monitor to see if that's really what was going on there. If my sugar was too high or too low, or just a fluctuation. Eliminating what supplements, just pre-workouts and stuff. And even certain health supplements, I had to add in certain things to help my health, and also take a look at certain health supplements that might cause some issues or interactions with other things if you use too much. So this is going to be an entire video separate, doing a deep dive into what I did health-wise, how I decided to, and pretty successfully, I would say, do a prep while improving some health markers, things that I learned along the way. But basically, I wasn't sure if a show was going to happen because of those things. I just wanted to try to see if I could dial my diet in, my cardio, my supplements, health-wise, lifestyle, all of that, to fix some of these issues, because I wanted those health markers to be 100% and see if I could actually, at least get in shape for my honeymoon coming up. If not, get in shape enough to do a show, doing all of that. So not using certain supplements that are usually used in a prep that are gonna wreck your cholesterol or your liver or things like that. And that's how we did it. So it panned out pretty well. I'll have another video coming soon about how I did that, where I'm at now, how my everything has improved. But I'm overall feeling really good coming out of the show, and with how most of the prep went. It was really a pretty smooth prep until the last 1 or 2 weeks is hard, which is pretty much inevitable. You have to suffer a little bit at some point in a prep, but it was really good. It was good for me. It was good for coaching and clients that I brought to the stage. It was just a good experience for me, coaching myself. I should have touched on that earlier in this video. I coached myself through that whole process as well, with the uncertainty in the very beginning of doing the show. And my priority was just seeing what I could do, how far I could take my body, being as health conscious as possible, and also prioritizing my work and marriage and my clients. I had people competing right up until my show and at my show, pretty much, and a lot of traveling for that, which was something new but really awesome for me. I actually felt like being in a prep made all of that better for me. I know some people don't like to coach or don't think that they can coach other people while they're focusing on their self. It can be a selfish thing. For me, it really felt like the deeper I got into things, the more excited I was about trying to help other people level up with me. And it didn't hurt that one of my clients was basically a training partner through the whole thing. Seeing my clients do what they did, if you follow me, you've seen some of them, like Jeffrey's transformation is just crazy. Seeing them do that and then going through the process with them and seeing the work they put in, and myself, doing the same thing at the same time, just out of the love for it. And the way the prep all went and turned out really just relit a fire in me. So I will get to, let's get to how the show went, how I feel about the prep, the outcome, and what's to come next. So let's go ahead and talk about the show. I'm gonna, like I said, make another video. I really want to pretty soon, going over what I did as far as my cardio, my diet, my health supplements, and everything going into it, and how I'm feeling and how all of my labs look now. I think if I could have gone through a prep and improved my labs as much as I was hoping to, because a lot of times it's not going to improve, it's the other way around. That would really be awesome for me, especially coaching myself through that process. But we're going to skip ahead to talk about show day. We landed in third call outs. It's not the first time that's happened. And they moved me to the middle of the third call outs. So not the call out that I wanted, but we did get moved to the middle, which usually means, you're in the winning spots of that call out. This is my third pro show and the third time in a pro show that I've gotten not the best call out, missed the top. I think I got a third call out in Tampa, New York Pro, my pro debut. It was third or fourth. They might have had a small first call out, right outside top 15. And same kind of thing in Miami. I think it was the third call out. They moved me to the middle and right outside of the top 15. And we got the same outcome here. And I knew going into this show that there were some amazing competitors. I still think that despite how health conscious I did this prep and other things going on and going through it myself and not really having, I had 2 years off. I was still training in that time, but I was not like, I didn't have a full 2 year serious like grow season. I do feel like I came back with some improvements, like my back specifically. My legs might have been through most of the prep. I didn't train them hard the last couple weeks, but through most of prep, I think my legs were improved from years past. Overall better. I think I came in at my best. The last like couple hours of the show before going on stage could have been maybe 10% better, but I knew how good the other guys were, and if some little things, didn't happen and weren't a little bit off, could I maybe moved up a couple of places? Yes. Would I have been able to beat Corey Morris or Ben? I don't know how to say Ben's last name. Some of you guys, if you know who I'm talking about, might know. Some of the best guys in the world, Olympians. Corey's the guy who people think could win the Olympia. So these were the best in the world at this show, in the very top of the mix. And the other guys in the top 10 or so, even not Olympians, still a great lineup. That's how the Pro League is at this point. So we ended up somewhere in the top 15. I think it was 15th, but that's still an improvement from the last two shows. The physique I had all of prep, because I was looking pretty ready like 2-3 weeks out when I started posting updates, and had not changed very much at all. Probably peaked like a few hours before and a few hours after going on stage, and the lighting wasn't great on stage, but that's what you take a lot of pictures for. So at some point you'll get pictures where you look really great. And if it's just the lighting on the stage, then you know that everyone there is working with that. Some guys' skin tone is different than us. I could have had more tan, more glaze. And the other thing I will address that I think I could have done a little bit better was control nerves and actually drink more water. A lot of people think that if your look is off, you should have pulled more water or dehydrated more. I realized that when loading up, even in like weeks before the show, doing trials with my cheat meals, having a little more water helped me take in those carbs better and fill up the muscles. And I thought I did that enough on the day before the show. I thought I drank enough water with a shit ton of carbs to take all that in and fill out and then lose that water. But I guess when it came to, eating carbs backstage, and also just the nerves, the excitement, adrenaline of like getting back up there after everything going on, I didn't really relax like I could have. There were some outside stressors that it always happens in prep. Really smooth prep until the last like night before the show. Some outside things could have affected that. But overall, like nerves and not drinking enough water made me not really digest the carbs as well as I could have when I was pumping up. So here I am backstage looking at these huge, freaky guys. I know they have bigger, rounder 3D muscle than me. And I started eating, I keep pounding the rice cakes and the honey, and I knew I wasn't like as maxed out full as I could have been, as I've seen myself before. So I tried to achieve that look by just pounding more carbs and salt and no more water. And it didn't sit as well in my stomach as it did in the days before, where I was eating the meals with the water. Maybe it was the water, maybe I was just more relaxed, but I know when I hydrated again the next day, my abs looked about the same, but my fullness looked crazy. So that's not an excuse. That's something that I'm taking as a learning experience and just sharing, passing that along to you guys. Could it have made me a little bit better? Yeah. Still not enough to be at that elite level yet. That's why I am not doing anything for a while. If I was like right there in the mix, if I was third and realized there was something I could improve on, would I try another show in 1 or 2 weeks and see if I could, peak a little bit better by improving those things and pull off a win? Yeah, I'd probably go for it. Am I at that point? No, and I'm kind of glad that I wanted to have one show this year, be one and done, move on to what's next. So feedback for me was stomach control. I hate that because I worked so hard in prep on like training my abs and holding my abs in when I'm doing cardio, core control. I practiced my posing. I got pretty tight. If maybe I had the water, I don't know. I could have held them in a little bit tighter on that stage and been fuller in the chest and the back. Tyler Manning told me himself, more upper chest, more overall back development, just more size. I could see that clearly from Corey and Ben, who were the top two. If you want to win a show, you got to look like the top Olympians are looking, and the muscle on these guys. I don't know what they weigh. It might be the same as me, but the fullness is crazy. So we're going to take some time to first enjoy my honeymoon, prioritize my clients and my health, and check up on all that. Enjoy some food. My rebound is going really well. Like I'm feeling good with the extra food, but it's mostly clean food. I'm still eating the meal prep, and the urges haven't been that bad. I'm not having alcohol. I'm not having very much sugar. Usually if I do have any sugar, it's like a pre or post workout thing, and my appetite is pretty under control. My energy and my sleep and my digestion are all like really good, and just changing some things that people do like the last couple weeks before a show, energy wise, and just my well-being is a lot better. So I'm feeling good. I'll keep you guys updated on that and do another video on what I'm doing more in detail. As far as the future, maybe next year, maybe 2025. I was at a point when I did this show that I was really happy with like where I'd gotten in bodybuilding. I always wanted to be a pro. And I could be totally happy if I retired with where I'm at, what I've achieved in bodybuilding, and, staying in the industry as a coach, not competing anymore. I would just train like for my personal goals. I could be happy with that. And I do realize that my priorities are, not being the biggest, most shredded guy or winning a show or going to the Olympia. It's my clients, and God, it's just been amazing, like going through this experience for the first time, like prepping myself and other people to the stage in the same time, and just seeing how far they've come. It's been really valuable to me and fulfilling, and motivated me a lot more to continue doing that. I'm continuing my education as far as coaching. So I want to really, dive hard into that and do the best I can for my clients, have them do better than me, and keep growing the team. Have a lot of other goals that I'll touch on further on. But as far as competing, it did give me a lot of clarity that despite, my priorities being staying healthy and my life outside of competition, I realize now after doing this show that I can do all that and continue to get better. So I know what I want, and that's to get to the Olympia. When we're going to do that, I don't know. I'm not going to personally go through all that again until I make some improvements. I don't want to go through this whole process just to move up a couple spots to get 10th or 12th. Tyler told me more size, so we're going to take time to do that. I want to come back and be competitive and be in the mix and win a show. Despite not getting in the first 2 call-outs, I still, seeing how I looked, seeing how this whole prep went for me, I believe I can do that with my other priorities in check and balancing everything. So that's what we're going to keep working towards. And I hope you guys will want to follow along the journey. But we will be going into a health phase and an off season now. We're going to work on those things and live life and come back 2023. This is 2023, not this year. 2024 or maybe 25, whenever I have the size. Come back with everything the judges told me to build on, and maybe have some extra help to have another set of eyes on me. I still have a lot that I gained, that I learned from this, coaching myself. It wouldn't hurt to get a little extra help along with that. Have that size, to be competitive, come back and do maybe 4 or 5 shows and be able to, you know, if there's something that we could fix a little bit, come in 5 or 10% better, then we have several chances to keep working, to keep doing that. And, you know, whoever shows up, I know I'm competing against the best in the world, but I think you give me enough time, I'm going to be able to hang in there. So that is what we want. That's what I'm going to be working towards. And I appreciate you guys following along. I'll have more videos to come. All of that other stuff I mentioned. I've rambled on long enough. I think I'm running out of workout footage to talk over. So we're going to wrap this up with that. Road to the Olympia. Here we go.